Hi guys, I just went and picked up my mom today. I got her in her beautiful double rainbow lakeside scattering case. It's actually quite easy to pick this new temporary home for her remains. It's because the double rainbows. Every time she saw a double rainbow, she said it was her mom and dad visiting. So now she's kind of home with her parents. The people at the funeral home were quite amazing. They were kind, they were respectful, they were so compassionate throughout this whole process. But even though they were so nice, I still told the lady that I was talking with today that I never wanted to see her again. Yeah, because it's just sometimes people are really nice, but in those situations and those circumstances, you just don't want to see them again. So my favorite number is 66. And I've been kind of conflicted with that being my favorite number still, because my mom passed away at 66. And on her registration number, the last two digits are 66. So I always thought of that number as a sign of being on the right path. But I think that I still can think of it as a positive number, and that now every time that I see it, I might also think of my mom, and that she's just letting me know that everything's working out as it should. So I can't hate my favorite number just because of the circumstances. And I've always thought about it as being a very positive one. So I'll just keep it as a positive and just have another significant meaning for it now. My mom never wanted a funeral. So she was always, even in the hospital, she was like, no funeral, no funeral, no funeral. She made sure that I knew that she was not having a funeral. So when I went to go get her cremated, I made sure that I let them know that there's going to be no viewing, because that kind of reminds me of a funeral, and she doesn't want a funeral, so we're just going to get her cremated. And I didn't want them to tell me when it was going to happen. I just wanted them to call me and let me know when she was ready to come home. So they called me today, and I went to go pick her up. And on Saturday, I was really quite emotional, and I thought it was just because it was 1 week since she's passed, since she completed her earthly journey and started her spiritual journey. And actually, it probably was because she was actually getting cremated that day. So I probably knew that she wasn't, that was her, what was happening. I just knew, I guess, in some way. So I was just crying for all the time over everything. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy how that happens. On September 24th, I was getting ready to go pick up the kids from school, and all of a sudden the doctor comes in and he's like, we're moving you down to ICU. We really need to monitor your heart rate or your oxygen level, because it's just dropping. It's just going. So we really need to have you have more one-on-one help with like the nurses to be able to be with her more. So she got moved down to ICU on September 24th. So I ended up not going to get my kids. And while I was packing up some of her stuff to help with the move to the different rooms, I was kind of glancing outside of the window, and out of the corner of my eye, there was just this white, really white, bright white, fluttery thing flying kind of upwards above the building. And I didn't really, it was something like, it wasn't like a bird or anything. It was weird, and something I've never really seen before. So I'm kind of thinking, like, I don't know, maybe you might think I'm being weird or something, but it must have been like something from the spiritual world telling me that they were like here because they're getting ready to take her. And when I saw that, I'm like, please, no, please don't take her. She's not ready. I'm not ready yet. On the evening of September 26th, my oldest son and I had just left the hospital, and a couple hours later, I received a call from the nurses at the hospital, and they said, you know, your mom's not responsive. She's been sleeping since you left. She's not waking up. So I think that, you know, this is probably it, and anybody who who wants to say goodbye should come to the hospital to say their final goodbyes. So September 26th, I made my phone calls, got everybody gathered so that everybody can come and say goodbye. It was planned on September 27th for her to do the maid, because she was in a lot of pain and she couldn't take it anymore. But so that was already planned. So we were already planning to have like a little a gathering of friends to have for those who wanted to come and say goodbye. You know, I was expecting her to be talking and everything, and to be able to, you know, say her goodbyes. So on September 26th, after we got the phone call, we all went over, said our goodbyes. She had a few friends come and say goodbye. She had the family come and say goodbye. All the family come and say goodbye. Not all the families, most of the family. She had quite a few people come to say goodbye. Myself, Maximus, Darius, Marcus, Destiny, we all stayed till 10. And then around that time, I took Marcus and Destiny home, but Destiny wanted to come back to the hospital. Well, I took them to the neighbors to sleep over, but Destiny wanted to come back with me to the hospital. So she ended up coming back, and Marcus stayed at the neighbor's house. And then at 12-ish, Max's girlfriend flew into town. So we all stayed at the hospital. We slept at the hospital. Around 3 o'clock in the morning, my mom had all the painkillers and stuff to be restful, to be as much comfort as she possibly could be, because she was in a lot of pain. So they gave her pain, but so she was soundly sleeping. At 3 o'clock in the morning, she starts breathing heavy, and then she starts getting restless. And I swear, like, it was like maybe a 5-minute thing, but she was trying frantically to get out of bed, and she was trying to fly away, kind of like, not fly away, but she saw something in another dimension, and they were leaving, and she wanted so desperately to go with them. She was saying, take me with you, and people were thinking that she was saying, I need to pee, or she was saying this, or she was saying that. But I kind of listened closely, and all I heard was, take me with you, and it was so heartbreaking to hear my mom crying out to whoever she was seeing to be taken with them. She did have a lot of strength though during those 5 minutes. She was kicking and grabbing, and she was just trying so hard to get up and to go with them. She was trying so hard to chase after them. But she looked in my eyes, but she wasn't looking at me. She was looking through me. She desperately, or she was completely in a different dimension, or whatever you want to call it, but she wasn't in the earthly presence. She wasn't seeing things from the earthly standpoint anymore. She was definitely seeing the spirit world. And she gave Max one solid kick to his bad knee as a reminder, I guess. He's like, she gave me a good kick. Oh, it hurt so bad. I'm like, yep, she's making sure you don't forget her. But yeah, so around 7 o'clock, maybe before 7, they came in to change her, reposition her, and then after that was done, her oxygen level dropped, and then like by 7:12 she was gone. So yeah, it was something that I'd never want to experience again. Oh. She mentioned to one of the nurses before that her biggest fear was dropping dead in front of her grandkids. Like, that would be the worst thing that would probably traumatize them. And she was probably right, like, to have that huge scene, like, just at home when you know, when you're doing stuff and all of a sudden your nanny, we call her nanny, but grandma, your nanny passes away suddenly, just drops dead. And she didn't want to do the maid, but she was so much pain. But so she did all the paperwork and signed that off, but she ended up going naturally on her own terms, which is what she wanted. And she was surrounded by people who loved her, and you know, even though it was a painful experience, it was beautiful because she really did get to have her goodbyes. Everybody got to say their goodbyes, and people shared stories, and it was just a bittersweet moment, you know. Yep. So here's my mama. She's gonna come home with me, and we're gonna keep her someplace safe until her celebration of life next summer. I'm not sure when, and we're gonna scatter her ashes then.